Get ready for the dictation. 5 seconds to go. Start. On behalf of my party, I thank the Honorable Finance Minister for his many initiatives in the budget in order to give impetus to economic growth. But at the same time, I think the budget proposals require a lot of executing skills on the part of the government to convert them into reality at ground level, and I am sure the government would be ready for such huge display of its executing skills. I would like to touch the following issues mentioned in the budget and offer my comments and suggestions. I regret to note that the budget has ignored the agriculture sector totally. According to the economic survey presented by the Honorable Finance Minister, the agricultural sector growth has declined drastically during the last year. As we all know, India cannot achieve the economic growth of 8% without agricultural growth. The same was reiterated by the central government in its last budget. But this budget failed to mention how government of India is going to create enabling ecosystem in the country through which India can achieve a high agricultural growth. The Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi had mentioned time and again in his speeches here and abroad about that this government would ensure that all sectors of economy, namely agriculture, industry and services, would contribute equally to the GDP of the country, so that any setback in one sector would not hurt the economic growth of the country. However, the budget has put all the emphasis on industry and services sector at the neglect of agricultural sector. To me, this is the biggest failure of this budget, as it is more guided by the philosophy of corporates than the welfare of the rural masses and farmers and sustainability of agriculture. I am at pains to notice that the budget proposals contain closure of many central schemes and pruning of allocation of funds to many central schemes. Though I appreciate the concept of drastic cooperative federalism advocated by the government, such a drastic decision without taking state governments into confidence would lead to hardship to marginalized sections of population. I would request the government of India to convey the meeting of all chief ministers to discuss this matter further and arrive at a consensus about its further approach to central schemes, so that states can be prepared for such eventualities. Though the budget promised to keep the promises made in Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, it failed to allocate sufficient financial resources for the state specific proposals. All India Institute of Medical Science should be set up in Telangana in this financial year itself. Government of Telangana already convened its approval to transfer ready-made infrastructure and adequate land to Government of India near Hyderabad for this purpose. Similarly, Indian Institute of Management should be set up in Telangana without any further delay in the next academic year. Government of Telangana is ready to extend its support in this regard. Sir, Government of Telangana allocates 200 acres of land to Tata Institute of Fundamental Research for setting up their second campus in Hyderabad. But there is inordinate delay in project implementation. I request the central government to review the progress of this project and allocate suitable financial resources so that project commences its academic work for this year itself. I am glad that finance minister allocated a substantial fund to infrastructure projects and railways to boost the infrastructure growth. I would humbly request that a part of this allocation should be spent in Telangana state for highway projects and completing pending railway projects. To sum up, I appreciate the Honorable Finance Minister for his comprehensive budget proposal, and I request him to note my above suggestions. The Finance Minister has presented a broad based budget focused on accelerating India's inclusive growth. The budget is forward looking, progressive, and practical with a very clear direction for future. Overall, this budget is wide in its scope and takes into account the interests of diverse section of society, that is middle class, farmers, youth, aged and the disabled. I welcome this budget as it is positive, growth oriented and puts forth realistic roadmap to attain sustainable economic growth. The Honorable Finance Minister has delivered a bold, far sighted budget that will help raise the country's profile as investment destination. The focuses on infrastructure and housing investments are good as it will kick-start the economy and have a ripple effect across all industries. The finance minister understands the need to kick-start infrastructure projects through increased investments, the need to revitalize PPP with the government taking additional risk. It reflects government's focus on increased investment in infrastructure growth and generating skill based employment. Good infrastructure is the foundation of meaningful and sustainable GDP growth. The trust on infrastructure in the budget is a welcome step in this direction and signals the government's intent and understanding of the importance of this key sector. Stop.